हेलो, वेलकम टू दिस वीडियो। आज हम पढ़ने वाले हैं बुद्धिज़्म के बारे में। बुद्धिज़्म started in India over 2600 years ago as a way of life that had a potential of transforming a person. It is one of the most important religions of South and Southeastern countries. The religion is based upon the teachings and life experiences of Buddha, founder of Buddhism. He was born in 563 BC. He was born into royal family of Sakya clan who ruled Kapilvastu in Lumbini, which is situated near Indo-Nepal border. Gautam Buddha left home at the age of 29 and he got enlightenment under a people tree at Bodh Gaya, a village of Bihar. Buddha gave his first sermon in the village of Sarnath near the city of Benares in UP. This event is known as Dharma Chakra Parivartana, turning of the wheel of law. Gautam Buddha died at the age of 80 in 483 BCE, place called Kushinagar, a town of UP. The event is known as Mahaparinirvana. Tenets of Buddhism. Buddha asked his followers to avoid the two extremes of indulgence in worldly pleasure and the practice of strict abstinence and asceticism. He ascribed instead the Madhya Marga or the middle path, which was to be followed. According to him, everyone was responsible for their own happiness in life, stressing upon the individualistic component of Buddhism. The main teachings of Buddhism are encapsulated in the basic concept of four noble truths or Arya Sachai and eightfold path or Ashtangika Marga. Four noble truths are: suffering is the essence of world. Dukha, suffering means Dukha is essence of world. Every suffering has a cause. That is called samudaya. Suffering could be extinguished. That is nirodha. It can be achieved by foldings at the Ashtangika Marga, eightfold paths. The eightfold paths consist of various interconnected activities related to knowledge, conduct, and meditative practices. That are the eightfold paths are right view, right intention, right speech, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right effort, right concentration. Dukkha and its extensions are central to the Buddha's doctrine. Suffering is not limited to the actual path, pain, but also the potential to experience these things. The essence of Buddhism is the attainment of enlightenment. It points to a way of life that avoids a self-indulgence and self-denial. There is no supreme god or deity in Buddhism. The ultimate goal of Buddha's teachings was the attainment of nirvana, which was not a place but an experience and could be attained in this life. Buddha also established code of conduct, both or monastic order and the layman to follow, which are also known as five precepts of Panchashila, and refrain from them. The Panchashila was violence, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying or gossip, taking intoxicating substance, drugs or drink. There are some Buddha's texts. The Buddha's texts teachings was oral, he taught for 45 years, adapting the teaching to suit the group he was addressing. The Sangha memorizes the teachings, and there were group recitations at festivals and special occasions. The teachings were rehearsed and authenticated at the first council and were divided in three Pitakas in 483 BC. His teachings were written down around 25 before Christ in Pali language. The three Pitakas are Vinay Pitaka, consists of rules of conduct and discipline applicable to the monastic life of monks and nuns. The Sutta Pitaka consists of main teachings or Dhamma of Buddha. It is divided into 5 Nikayas. The collection is a Sutta Pitaka is divided into 5 Nikayas. The first one is Digha Nikaya, the second one is Madhyam Nikaya, third is Samutta Nikaya, fourth is Anguttara Nikaya, and fifth is Kundaka Nikaya. The Abhidhamma Pitaka, the next one, Pitaka, is a philosophical analysis and systematization of the teachings and scholarly activity of the monks. Other important Buddhist texts include Divyadana, Deepvamsa, Mahavamsa, and Milinda Pandu. There were 4 Buddhist councils. These mark the important turning points in the early Buddhism. These councils resulted in the sectarian clashes and eventual great schism that resulted in 2 major schools, Theravada and Mahayana. In total, 4 major Buddhist councils were convened. The first council was held soon after the Mahaparinirvana of the Buddha around 483 BC under the patronage of King Ajatashatru and was presided by Mahakashyapa, a monk. The council was held in a Saptaparni at Rajagriha. The council was held with the purpose of preserving the Buddha's teachings, sutta, and rules for disciplines. During this council, the teachings of Buddha were divided into 3 Pitakas. The second council was held at Vaishali, a village in Bihar under the patronage of King Koshala. In 383 BC, it was presided by Sabakami. The third council, it was held in 250 BC in Patliputra under the patronage of Asoka and was presided by Mogaliputta Tissa. The fourth council was held in 72 AD at Kundalvana, Kashmir. It was presided by Bhushumitra, while Asvaghosha was his deputy under the patronage of King Kanishka of Kushan Empire. Buddhism was divided into 2 sects, namely Mahayana and Hinayana, in the 4th Buddhist Council. School of Buddhism. There are 2 schools of Buddhism. The first one is Mahayana and the second one is Hinayana. Mahayana, it is one of 2 main schools of Buddhism. The term Mahayana is a Sanskrit word which literally means great vehicle. It believes in the heavenliness of Buddha and idol worship and Bodhisattva embodying Buddha nature. It originated in northern India and Kashmir and then spread east into Central Asia, East Asia, and some areas of Southeast Asia. Buddhist school embedded in China, Korea, Tibet, and Japan belong to Mahayana traditions. Hinayana, literally lesser vehicle, also known as abandoned vehicle or defective vehicle. It believes in the original teachings of Buddha or doctrines of elders. It does not believe in idol worship and tries to attain individual salvation through self-discipline and meditation. The Theravada is a Hindyan sect. Theravada, it is most ancient branch of extant Buddhism today. Theravada. It means closest to the original teachings of Buddhism. Theravada is closest to the original teachings of Buddhism. Theravada Buddhism developed in Sri Lanka and subsequently spread to the rest of Southeast Asia. It is the dominant form of religion in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar. It is dominant form of religion in Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Vrajayana means the vehicle of thunderbolt, also known as Tantric Buddhism. This Buddhist school developed in India around 900 century. It is grounded on historic of Chinese Buddhism and later developed into various schools. It is spread in Japan in 7th century. Meditation is most distinctive feature of Jaina Buddhism tradition. Jain school of Mahayana Buddhism that originated in China during Tang dynasty as the Chan school of Chinese Buddhism in and later developed into various schools. Now we will study about spread of Buddhism. Buddha has two kinds of disciples, monks, bhikkhus and worshippers, upashikas. The monks were organized into the Sangha for the purpose of spreading his teachings. The Sangha was governed on democratic lines and was empowered to enforce disciples among its members. Owing to the organized efforts made by Sangha, Buddhism made rapid progress in North India even during Buddha's lifetime. After the death of Buddha, his followers transversed on his path. Meditation roamed through countryside. For 200 years, Buddhism remained overshadowed by their Hindu counterparts until the advent of great Maurya king Ashoka. After the bloodbath in the Kalinga conquest, Emperor Ashoka decided to give up the policy of worldly conquest and adopted Dhamma conquest. Ashoka, during the Third Buddhist Council, dispatched various Buddhist missions to different areas as Gandhara, Kashmir, Greece, Sri Lanka, Burma, Egypt and Thailand. Through his missionary effort, Ashoka spread Buddhism into West Asia and Ceylon. Thus, a local religious sect was transforming into world religion. Ashoka sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra to Ceylon to spread the teachings of Buddhism. Contribution of Buddhism in Indian culture. Buddhism has contributed a lot in Indian culture and this religion is very significant in shaping Indian culture. It has a remarkable contribution in the development of culture of India. The concept of ahimsa was itself a chief contribution in India by the Buddhism. Later it became one of the cherished value of nation. It contributes to the art and architecture. The stupas and Sanchi, Bharuch and Gaya are wonderful pieces of architecture. It promoted education through residential universities like Takshila, Nalanda and Vikramshila. These universities were a great center of teachings of Buddhism. The language of Pali and other local languages developed through the teachings of Buddhism. It has had also promoted the spread of Indian culture to other parts of Asia. Nowadays, Buddhism is a way of soft diplomacy. Buddhism in India as a soft power is different from conventional sense of the term. India talks about shared cultural development instead of export of culture. The values of peace, accommodation, inclusiveness, and compassion that are part of our societies can be attributed to the influence of the teachings of Lord Buddha and Buddhism. The ideal of Buddhism continued to intersect with the political and economic context of many Asian countries. With 22% of world population are Buddhism, Buddhism can act as an intensifying factor of Asian emotional bonding and connectivity as it imbued into their nationalistic thinking and actions. Buddhism is not restricted to Asia and has been able to generate a spiritual awakening elsewhere in the world and influence a stream of philosophical traditions world over. India has in its favor at the moment abundance of resources by way of pilgrimage sites, the presence of Dalai Lama, and international goodwill, as well as the right intentions. Effective revitalizations of Nalanda University project and encouragement of Buddhist studies in well established universities will bring international community a common platform. The promotion of Buddhism tourist reminiscent of the Incredible India campaign is required to popularize India's association with faith internationally. The government faces the crucial challenges of effective education. Buddhist diplomacy would go a long way countering the rise of China, strengthening its relations with Asian countries, and helping it further down the path of its religion and global power. Nowadays, a Hriday Heritage City Development Scheme, that is called Hriday, and identification of 3 Buddhist circuits are some of the few initiatives by central government to harness the Buddhist pilgrims to both augment the tourism and employment opportunities. Few Buddhist heritage sites related to Buddhism. UNESCO's heritage sites related to Buddhism. Archaeological site of Nalanda Mahavihara at Nalanda Vihar. Buddhist monuments at Sanchi, Madhya Pradesh. Mahabodhi Temple complex at Bodh Gaya, Bihar, and Ajanta Caves, Aurangabad are the UNESCO heritage site related to the religion Buddhism. So this is all about today's class. Thanks for watching. We will meet in the next video. Please like, subscribe and comment. Thank you.